Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday Q&A, which is recorded today on Friday. Hottest day of the year, been lovely. I had a load on from yesterday. I drove that down to Bristol this morning, tip, and this just came home. And I kind of thought I'd have the afternoon off. Never ends, does it? But then, of course, I had to go and get the windscreen wipers for the DAF, which I forgot to get during the week because we've got the DAF coming down tomorrow for a PMI inspection. And, of course, I've got Daniel coming round for our annual transport manager audit. And I'm thinking, well, I can do the Sunday Q&A on Sunday, but Sunday's Father's Day. And I'm thinking, how am I supposed to lie in a sunbed and relax? Well, I know I've got all this stuff to do. So I will get out there in a minute. I'll walk the garden, just need something, just at the moment, just to take my mind off things and just to ease the pain. Cheers. It's rosé. I've had a beer and I just didn't fancy another beer, so I'm on rosé. Right, so this week, I had a week. I have been everywhere. There will be a video, but I did go up to Newcastle. I went up to the Metro Centre. I went up on Sunday. I did meet my mate on the Sunday night. Like I said I was going to. And then rather than coming home on the Monday, I went to Glasgow. So I went to Glasgow, then Carlisle, then Derby, then Derby again, and then Basildon. But I came home on my way. But I did get up to the Metro Centre. Did actually get into it. Ian Hislop says, the Metro Centre doesn't have a roller coaster anymore. That end has been redeveloped. He said, will there be anybody at JD as the shops don't open until 10 a.m? It was Meet the Shop Fitters. I think that's what it was. It was all gondolas and all kind of shop fittings. Well, you'll see if you watch the video. And so they were just gutting the place. So I see them there at 7:30 in the morning, which was fine. Alan Lister also says no roller coaster anymore, but plenty of roadworks. Roadworks I didn't spot so much, although I have noticed that Wickenham has Harry Claspers, depending on how you say it, the Weatherspoons, which is a fantastic pub, very reasonable, brilliant toilets, and it has both San Miguel and Leffy on tap, and Stella, I think, which could be quite dangerous. I must admit. It was a very enjoyable evening. Right, so, and Steve Campbell says, were you recording as we passed each other in Washington? I actually passed Steve. He was loading in Washington to go down to something like Leighton Buzzard, and I was on my way to Sunderland to load to go to Glasgow. So he lives here, I live here, and we kind of went like that. But no, I'd well finished by then, to be honest with you, mate. But I'll do the video as soon as I get round to editing it, which probably won't be this weekend for the aforementioned reason. It takes forever to get these things together, but, you know, hey, what are you going to do? Go out and pass time, innit? Right, quick one for the wise guys. Nick the Urban Trucker pointed out to me, he said, Pete, there is a commercial dealer, truck dealers right on your doorstep at the old Limeworks in Tottenham. I know the Limeworks, that's where I went to get my truck weighed when I found out that the last time I did that job where I thought I was overweight, I thought I'd better go and find out how much truck weighs. JCE Truck and Plant. He said, you did a video there not so long ago when you weighed your new truck. Yeah, absolutely. He was in Eaton Bray this morning delivering to Posh Fisher's place, mate. If I'd have been there, you definitely should have come round and we would have hooked up. But you know the score. I'm never here. I'm never when I was a market trader. Or, you know, I live in this quaint little village, spent all my time in the streets of London. But, yeah, I'm going to check that out. I know there's one in Billington. But the thing is, the problem is, trucks are so specific that the one you want, the chances of the one you want, it happened to me once. The first Iveco I bought from a geezer in Hemel. It was exactly the one I wanted. But normally, the one you see for the right price, for the spec that you want, is in Nottingham or a sort of Sittingbourne. And if you're going to have the lorry, you're going to have it for a little while. You've got to be, it's same with vans, you've got to be prepared to travel to get this stuff. It's kind of, you're going to be on it for a while. Right, so, that's the wise guys out of the way. Now, I said I'm going to do a special. This is the, I'm going to do this one today. This is the Messenger special. So what it is everybody who's ever messaged me on Messenger and say, don't try and get me on Messenger or Facebook or email. It doesn't work because all I ever really do is look at the comments. And so if you want to get hold of me, write something in the comments of one of the videos, and then when I do this Q&A, I read it and I can answer it on a Sunday. But something happened and I ended up looking at messages, so I'm now going to answer all of the messages that you've been sent me since Christmas. So it's kind of a bit like Ringo Starr. You know, he said he would answer every single letter in person, and it comes to the stage where he was replying to letters that had been written to him like 20 years ago. But he wouldn't. He decided he was going to do it, like, you know. So it's not quite the same as Ringo Starr, I'll grant you. But yeah. So if you want, and I'll go in reverse order. So these are the latest ones you might have other chance on. Gabrielle Marius. Oh, also, by the way, there's another good reason why I don't do it on Messenger, because I actually have to handwrite these. I just have to sit there and singly handwrite every one. Whereas with these ones, I can just copy and paste. You know, beautiful sunny day out there. No, it's fine. That's fine. Give me something to do. Gabrielle Marius. I'm not better. Gabrielle Marius says, it's about a video about all of the paperwork required to starting off with your own lorry. There is the one, Gabrielle, which is how to go about getting an operator's license. That kind of covers it, mate, to be honest with you. That's the best one. There is one out there saying how to get an operator's license. You don't need that much paperwork. You'll just need to fill in the forms, but just you do as you're told when you go to the thing. It's fairly straightforward, mate. And there's a couple of people asked this. One guy was Anthony Batcher, and someone else, he said, at what point do you put the ad in the paper? I would put the ad in the paper for the operator's license last thing. Get everything else in place. Get your transport manager in place. Get your mechanic in place. Do all your paperwork. Get everything filled in so it's ready to go. Then put the ad in the paper. Because the ad in the paper only lasts about 28 days. And if you don't get everything complete within that 28 days, you've got to do the ad again. And the ad isn't cheap. It can cost you £180. It can cost you 350 quid, depending on how much your local paper charges. So get everything else in place first. Get it all there, online, all clicked in, then put the ad in. You can have the ad ready to go. You can even have it with a local paper and go, I'm going to ring you and go, can we put the ad in this week, please? So you can do that. That's the way forward. Ziz says, looking for an external looking for an external transport manager. Right, Ziz. My mate, I think at Neptune Couriers, because I think Ziz lives in Teesside and he lives up north somewhere. But being a transport manager, you can actually kind of do an awful lot of it online. Me and Daniel do a lot of it online. He has to come and see me from time to time, but he might have to come and see me once every 3 months because we comply and we get everything right, and he can phone me. So you can see it all, like, you know. We've got FaceTime and we've got scans and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, Silsies, and you're still watching, put something in the comments. No, don't message me, because otherwise I won't see it for another 6 months. Put something in the comments of on the YouTube, and I'll try and get you linked up with Neptune Couriers, and maybe that could help, you know. So Jeff Dean and Jessica Mars says, I have a question, can you help? Yes. Best way to do it is to put the question in the comments under the YouTube thing. Otherwise, I won't see it. Or ring me. You can ring me. My number, I'll do that at the end. Zach Michael says, he said, was in the US driving a truck, but is now back on the UK driving at Luton on any van. He's on the fence about joining the CX. I don't know, Zach. It worked for me, although I haven't been driving vans for a long time now, and I've heard rumour, in fact we'll come to it, like what Tajesh says later on, he says it's getting a bit tougher out there in a van. I still think the CX is worth its money on the grounds that you probably have to get 2 jobs a month and it pays for itself, and I think in comparison to all the other platforms, like any van, certainly not Shipley stuff goes for ridiculously cheap money, all of the other platforms don't offer the same kind of opportunity to turn it back into dough. But at the end of the day, listen to other people, you know, choice is yours. Mike Jarvis says, can you explain the going home, going to and future loads? Mike, I never used them. I used to hate it because you were looking for a job in the local area and you go, why is the one pinged up here from St Albans and I'm in Skegness? And it'd be like, oh no, because you put it in a going home or a future journey. I never liked that one. I always found a better way to do it was to search loads, which you can search loads if you log into the mobile version of the app. I did a video on this, I'll do you a link, it's important, which will let you search loads from the area you're going to and all that kind of stuff. But other people use it, I know. I think Franz uses it, that what he'll do is he'll put the dates in of where he's going to be and where he's going to, and jobs will ping up along the way of, like, you know, jobs moving forward. I never liked it. I found it frustrating and tedious. So there we go. Jason Kingsley says, go to City Sprint or stick with the CX. I still think the CX is worth it. It's working for me. We're still in lorries. I mean, I can't say we're inundated with work, but we have enough work. I don't have my choice of work, but I get the jobs that I need, and it's been a mega week this week. I mean, I've been here, there, and everywhere. I mean, I can't really count it as my best week because I started it on Saturday. I started Saturday morning. It's now Friday night. So normally it's a Monday to Friday week, isn't it? But I'm doing perfectly well. So, but again, you do you. Why choose? Why can't you do City Sprint? And when City Sprint don't send you anything, then jump on a CX. I don't see why, unless City Sprint are asking you to be mutually exclusive, and I always think that's not very, very fair. If you want to employ me full time, employ me full time. If you want me to be on your beck and call all full time, but you might not have any work for me for a week, then no, I'm going to go and do work elsewhere. I've got family to feed, you know. Martin Deacon, who's my mate Darren Cornish's neighbour. Hello, Martin. He says Darren Cornish is the best man at my wedding. He's my mate out the road. He says he needs a local tail lift engineer. We use Chris at Chiltern Tail Lifts. If you're still interested, get hold of Darren or get hold of me and I'll send you his number. I'll put in contact with him. He's fine. He's local. He's pretty good. So, Gabrielle Crystal says, "Hi, Pete." Hi, Gabrielle. Russ Edwards says, "Not sure what van to buy." Russ, I've done one on this. Best van to buy, join a CX. It still pretty much stands. Again, you've got to buy the van that suits you, but there's an in-depth video that will go into all that kind of stuff. And Greg Hill says, "Can I please have your phone number for a chat?" Yes, you can, Greg. Hold on for a second. Shane Lamb says, "Do you ever get paid in checks?" Used to. In fact, I actually had to go and I was using my normal account, which was free. And I had to go and get a business account, which admittedly is still free because they give it free for the first 2-3 years, but they will then eventually charge me for forever, because National Same Day used to pay me in cheques. And because the cheques came to Vanguard Transport and my normal account was in my name, I had to go and get an account with Vanguard Transport. Having said that, I probably would have had to have one by now anyway, because moving forward, but rarely. I think National Same Day was the only ones who do, and very, very rarely. And finally, Jamie Murphy, this is going back to the 3rd of January now, says, "Is it possible to earn £1,200 a week in a Ford Custom, as this is what I'm on at the moment? It lives near the Five Ways roundabout in Thetford." Jamie, I think you would struggle to earn that kind of money in a Ford Custom if you lived in Milton Keynes. Thetford is not the greatest area in the world. You'd have to travel to get to it. Ford Customs, a lovely looking van, nice van to drive, doesn't have the capacity to take bigger loads, and as a result of which it's harder to earn the money. I'd say if you're on that kind of dough, stick when you are at the moment. But having the fact that you asked me that question 6 months ago, I imagine you probably made that decision by now. So guys, don't get me on Messenger, don't get me on Facebook, don't send me emails, it won't go anywhere. Put a message in the comments or ring me. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. If it's outside of those times, it's kind of family time, or I'm kind of busy up the yard, so I can't answer. But 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I'll always pick up. If I don't, it means I'm loading. Leave me a message, I'll get back to you. My number is 07970 723 884, and I'm happy to talk to anybody. I just want to help. Right, that was the Messenger special. So, back to normal. Trucks. Paul Wilkins says, this is the update, and he's going for his Class 1. And just to let you know, he's passed the things I don't understand. Mod 4 CPC, that's something. I mean, I think because I had granddad rights, I took a different CPC. Mod 3A and 3B left. The rules changed in November. It used to be you had to pass a Class 2, but now you can go straight from car to Class 1 and skip Class 2. Okay, fair enough. It's not too bad. I have my 3A, which is reverse and uncoupling, recouple on Tuesday morning, which I believe that's not part of. You do that with your examiner, don't you? You don't, not your examiner. You do that with your instructor, not your examiner, because the actual reverse test is not part of the test now, I think. And my 3B, 60-minute drive on Thursday, which I presume will be the actual test. I will let you know how I get on. When I pass, I do get a free retake if I need. I paid in the package, so I get a second go for free if I fail. Paul, I hope you don't. I hope by the time that, by this time next week that you'll be out in a six axle. Well, good luck, mate. Good luck. So Steve Campbell says, he said, the new thing with the government since 2021, you can now leapfrog Class 2, go straight to Class 1. The reversing part of the test is no longer part of the actual test. So I think it is still a test. I think you do still have to pass it, but you don't take it with the driving examiner. You take it with your driving instructor, which means you might be a little bit more relaxed. I don't know how stringent your driving instructor can be. He probably has an idea of whether you can reverse a trailer or not. And if he might have seen you do it a dozen times, and if you mess it up on the test, he might go, just go back there and do that again. I don't know. I don't know how it stands. I don't know if they might have private audits. They might have people watching. I don't know how it works, but one day maybe I'll have a go and I'll find out. And then there's Godzilla's, who is now in a truck, I believe. But he might not be for soon. Problems in Godzilla Land. It's like this could be on its own, couldn't it? You've got a channel. Why are you not doing this? It says HGV jobs become available. He says I'm massively underqualified, presumably because he's just passed, I guess. But he said, I've got a mate who runs a place who recommended them to me. He said, these are the jobs. He said, the full. Given the shortages, they're interested in me, which is beyond a surprise, as it's a dead man's shoes to get in 99% of the time. So I think he's got opportunity to go in with his firm. He's been trying for 6 years to get in. The pay is nearly $40,000 a year, although there's plenty of overtime. Hours are mostly nights. However, given the nature of the job, you sleep 50% of the time as there's nothing to do. So they presumably pull you in on a night shift, and then you go to sleep, and then they wake you up when they need you, and you have to do something, and then you go back to sleep again. It's a bit like they said when I was doing the film set, moving the concrete blocks around. They said, getting a job here is the best job in the world. You get paid to drive a van for 10 hours a day. On average, you'll be surprised if you do one. The rest of it is just sitting around, watching TV, reading books, talking to mates. It's kind of, there's very little to do, but it's, trying to get in on the place. Obviously, everybody wants this job, But he said, 50% of the time it's not do 4 to 6 hours working a 12-hour shift. Also, it's hard to explain, but the shifts you work 50% of the time. There's holiday time as well, which means you get 50% of that time off. So effectively, you work for 25% of the year. Everyone there has second jobs because of this. A friend of mine did all the overtime possible 1 year and picked up 72k. So he said, it looks like I'll be going back to a bit of van work. Mate, let me know how it goes. You've got to take it, you've got to go where the money is. If someone turns around to me and says tomorrow, I can earn double the amount of money I'm earning tomorrow riding a skateboard, I'll learn to ride a skateboard. I'll probably have to wear a crash helmet and shoulder and knee pads because I'm not exactly the most stable on those things, but I'd learn. Good luck. And finally, on the miscellaneous this week, Van on the Run says, because he said about, I've said before, when you join a CX, get the most basic package possible. Van on the Run says, I am on the most basic package possible. He said, I'm now paying £205 a quarter, which I think is actually pretty good. I know how much they want to charge. I think you've done well there. Am I right in thinking that you regret not going limited before getting the operator's licence? I read conflicting advice whether it can be done starting again with a new application. Yeah, I wish I had gone limited before I'd taken the thing on, and now it's all over the shop. But everything happens in time. As for getting a new application, I'm sure Nick will put me straight on this one. But I think you kind of have to fit the criteria, but it's not exactly the same as a new application. I don't have to do a newspaper advert again. I don't have to prove that it's more of an amendment or a change. You just got to show them that you've got everything in place and it's fine, but it's all with the tax and the accounts. It's just not there at the moment. We'll get there eventually. Shane Hardy says, only one video this week, Pete. I was thinking something must have gone wrong and was hoping a week for another video. I had to wait till this morning. I don't know how many to post. I posted 2 this week. I think I got to the stage where I was posting too many on a weekly basis, in which case I think I wear people out. I suppose on average probably about 2 a week plus a Sunday Q&A is about right. How many do you think I should do? I don't know. And it also comes down, don't get me wrong, I always get more questions. I could go, I'll do a video about that. I'll do a video about that. Oh, that's a good idea for a video. But also, I have a fear of repeating myself. And a lot of the time, you start off talking about one thing, and within like 30 seconds, it turns, you think, I've done this one before. So, I don't know, mate. We'll just keep going. We'll get there in the end. And Tajesh Patel says, he said, right, this is what I mentioned earlier on. He says, anyone looking to get into vans on the CX, you need to know that Pete, thank you very much, Tajesh, gives great advice. But he was in vans during the easy time. Since October 21, prices have been going down low and getting jobs off the CX alone is a lot harder. And there's a lot more people bidding on the jobs. Trucks are different because we still have a shortage of drivers, but vans, there's still too many since COVID. I don't know, mate. I don't, like I say, I don't profess to know how things work or tell anybody what to do. I will tell you how I find things, and I will pass on other information. So I do know a couple of people that are out there running in vans. So my mate, brain's frozen. Franz is out there running the van, still doing okay. He's very hit and miss with it. and my other mate Luke, who I talk to on a regular basis, who's just started, he's doing very well with it, but he is working very, very hard. He's putting in the hours, so if whatever you decide to do, guys, good luck, you know. And finally, Gary Clinton says, been watching your videos and they're really interesting. I have one question. Are you allowed to do multiple jobs at the same time? Gary, I believe you're talking about doing the 2 jobs or 3 jobs in the van at the same time. We call that co-loading. There is a video. I'll do you a link. You are allowed to co-load, but you have to co-load within the rules. You have to make sure that everybody else is fine with it. Because we're like taxi drivers. We're hired to pick it up, drive it directly there, and drop it off. We don't go and pick someone else up on the way. You wouldn't expect that in a taxi. You wouldn't expect it in a van. So, but it can be done as long as you've got the permission from both people. But there is videos. So, and finally, this week in conclusion, Mr. Bruce says, Pete, your curtain side solution is easy. Just right above paddockways. Pete is better than. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to swallow that. That and the fact that I've actually already painted paddockways off of the side of the curtain now. So we've got new stuff going. I've got sidebars going on it where I've dented the ones on the. I managed to impale the truck on a bollard, didn't I, when I was at Pinewood? It's got new bars going down the side, and I'm thinking, I'm going to silver on one side and grey on the other side, blue on the other side. So I might paint the other one silver, and I might paint the wheels silver because I don't like the fact they've been painted blue because it looks a little bit like a clown truck. And I might swap my indicators for yellow indicators, and I've got to do the fiberglass in. So I've got to do a bit of fiberglass where I busted the step, but there's probably going to be a video on that. But yeah, they're hopefully going on tomorrow alongside the rubbers going on the back of Tim's truck and the inspection on John's. And Gary Clinton, I did one video this week, didn't I, which said about, if you're going with 2 pallets rather than 4, I was like, just try to be polite, talk to people, be nice to people and explain the situation. And Gary Clinton said, my old dad he used to tell me you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Like that, Gary. I think I'm going to adopt that one myself, if you don't mind. Your old dad was obviously a very wise man. So that's it today from the very warm Sunday Q&A. It's been a mega week. I'd like to say I started Sunday morning and I've been going, and I've got some stuff to do tomorrow, with the vans and stuff, and then I think Sunday I might have a rest. Having said that, it's now 4:30. I'll get all this on the computer. I'm going to water the barbecue. That's not good, is it? That's not going to cook the food. I'm going to water the garden. And then I might stick a couple of burgers on the barbie. Lovely. Why not indeed? Anyway, enjoy it. Enjoy the sunshine. Happy Father's Day, guys. I hope you have a wonderful one. And on a Monday, I hope you take care and take money.